Good morning, and welcome to First Unitarian Church of St. Louis. My name is Deborah Kavanaugh Grant, she, her, hers, and I am today's worship assistant. We are glad you could join us this Sunday, either in person or online. If you are a visitor or a newcomer, I'd like to extend a special welcome. And if you are new to our congregation, be sure to fill out a newcomer form, found in the live stream description or in the lobby of the church. After service, please join us downstairs for cake and coffee. We welcome families with children. Families with children are invited to connect with the RE committee after the service for more information about our RE program. Today is our annual RE Sunday service, where we celebrate a year of learning and growing together and honoring our graduating seniors. If you are attending online, you can connect with each other in the chat. And don't forget that the link for virtual coffee hour can be found in your weekly e-news. There are several important announcements this morning. Love at the Center Book Club meets tonight at 7 p.m. on Zoom. This month's discussions is Tattoos on the Heart by Greg Boyle. Next Sunday is our annual church picnic on June 8th at noon in Tower Grove Park. Beyond Earth Day, Part 2, our Climate Revival series, has been rescheduled for Sunday, August 3rd. Members and friends of First Unitarian may now submit nominations for the 2025-26 designated collections. Visit the church website for more information and the nomination form. Applications must be received by Monday, July 14th to be considered. Volunteers are needed to help members with limited mobility do tornado cleanup, small household projects, and minor gardening tasks. If you can help, please contact Reverend Kim. Now please center yourself in preparation for worship. Oops. Welcome to this religious community where we affirm the worth and dignity of all who enter. We gather in community, understanding we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, identity, and theology. Our values invite us to a shared journey of truth and meaning making. Together, we foster a spirit of gratitude and generosity so that all may feel welcome and all can thrive. We are glad you are here with us this morning. Please enjoy our prelude on Sanctus, Mass 5 by John Lee, performed by our organist, Alan Hoffman.
Good morning. I always feel like I won the lottery when people come to church on Sunday morning when they've already been here on Saturday night. So I'm so glad to see you all this morning. I am the Reverend Kim Mason. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I serve this congregation as your minister. This morning is our annual Religious Education Sunday. Take two! Rescheduled from the tornado. I invite you into worship with these words. This is the place where we grow, nurtured by the fertile soil of community. We grow, fed by the renewing power of hope. We grow, watered by the questing dreams of imagination. We grow. We grow our hearts and minds, our bodies and spirits. We grow our faith in one another and the possibility of change. We grow together. Come, let us worship. I invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join in the opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Just the first three verses.
Today's chalice lighting words come from Alexis Capon and the Reverend Christian Schmidt. We light this chalice for our children and youth, and for us, celebrating the flame of faith lit in each of us, honoring the light of each of us bring into the world, rejoicing in the community we create together.
I invite forward our senior high youth group, who is going to do our first Story for All Ages.
I'm Tyler Hunt, and I'm reading The Ugly Vegetables by Grace Lynn. All right. In the spring, I helped my mother start. Okay. In the spring, I helped my mother start our garden. We used tall shovels to turn the grass upside down, and I saw pink worms wriggle around. It was hard work. When we stopped to rest, we saw that the neighbors were starting their gardens too. Hello, Irma, my mother called to Mrs. Crumarine. She was digging too. She was using a small shovel, one that fit in her hand. Mommy, I asked, why are we using such big shovels? She has a small one. Because our garden needs more digging, she said. I helped my mother plant the seeds, and we dragged the hose to the garden. Hi, Linda. Hi, Mickey. I called to the Fitzgeralds. They were sprinkling water on their garden with green watering cans. Mom, I asked, why are we using a hose? Linda and Mickey are using watering cans. Because our garden needs more water, she said. Then my mother drew funny pictures on a piece of paper, and I stuck them into the garden. Hello, Roseanne, my mother called across the streets to Miss Engel Howe. Mom, I asked, why are we sticking these papers in the garden? She has seed packages in her garden. Because our garden is going to grow Chinese vegetables, she told me. These are the names of the vegetables in Chinese, so I can tell which plants are growing here. One day I saw our garden growing. Little green stems that looked like grass had popped out from the ground. Our garden's growing, I yelled. Our garden is growing. I rushed over to the neighbors' gardens to see if theirs had grown. Their plants looked like little leaves. Mom, I asked, why do our plants look like grass? The neighbors' plants look different. Because they're growing flowers, she said. Why can't we grow flowers, I asked. These are better than flowers, she said. Soon all the neighbors' gardens were blooming. Up and down the street grew rainbows of flowers. The wind always smelled sweet, and butterflies and bees flew everywhere. Everyone's garden was beautiful except for ours. Our garden was all dark and green and ugly. Why didn't we grow flowers? I asked again. Because these are better than flowers, Mom said again. I looked, but saw only black, purple, green vines, fuzzy, wrinkled leaves, prickly stems, and a few little yellow flowers. I don't think so, I said. You wait and see, Mom said. Before long, our vegetables grew. Some were big and lumpy, some were thin and green and covered with bumps. Some were just plain icky and yellow. They were ugly vegetables. Sometimes I would go over to the neighbors and look at their pretty gardens. They would show me the poppies and petunias to me, and I would feel sad that our garden wasn't as nice. One day, my mom and I picked the vegetables from the garden. We filled a whole wheelbarrow full of them. We wheeled them to the kitchen. My mother washed them, took a big knife, and started to chop them. Ow, she said when she cut them. She had to use all of her muscles. The vegetables were hard and tough. This is Xiao Hu Gua, Mommy said, handing me a bumpy curled vegetable. She pointed at the other vegetables. This is Xian Kai, and that's Tong Hao. I went outside to play. While I was playing catch with Mickey, a magical aroma filled the air. I saw the neighbors standing on their porches with their eyes closed, smelling the sky. They took deep breaths of air like they were trying to eat the smell. The wind carried it up and down the streets. Even the bees and butterflies seemed to smell the scent in the breeze. I smelled it too. It made me hungry, and it was coming from my house. When I followed the smell to my house, my mom was putting a big bowl of soup on the table. The soup was yellow and red and green and pink. This is a special soup, Mom said, and she smiled. She gave me a small bowl full of it, and I tasted it. It was so good. The flavors of the soup seemed to dance in my mouth and laugh all the way down to my stomach. I smiled. Do you like it? Mom asked me. I nodded and held out my bowl for some more. It's made from our vegetables, she told me. Then the doorbell rang and we ran to open the door. All the neighbors were standing at the door holding flowers. We noticed that you were cooking, Mr. Fitzgerald laughed as he held out his flowers. We thought maybe you might be interested in a trade. We laughed too, and my mom gave them each their own bowl of the special soup. My mom told them what each vegetable was and how she grew it. She gave them the soup recipe and put some soup into jars for them to take home. I ate 5 bowls of it. It was the best dinner ever. The next spring, when my mother was starting in her garden, we planted some flowers next to the Chinese vegetables. All the neighbors planted some Chinese vegetables next to their flowers too. Soon the whole neighborhood was growing these Chinese vegetables in their garden. Up and down the street, little green plants poked out of the ground. Some looked like leaves and some looked like grass, and when the flowers started blooming, you could smell the soup in the air. The end.
If I'm not mistaken, some folks are making ugly vegetable soup this morning? Yes, so when our service is concluded and we head downstairs, there should be some ugly vegetable soup for everyone to enjoy. Every Sunday is a special occasion. Our community gathers to remember, learn, reflect, and be present with each other. We learn about what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, and we discern how to live our values. This is a community of many generations. When we gather in different circles. Normally, we begin all together here in this sanctuary, surrounded by history and reminded of the care that we hold for each other. And often, some of our members go to be part of smaller circles of learning and friendship. On Sunday mornings, we call these circles religious education. And we are able to create these learning circles because of dedicated teachers and leaders who hold space for our children and youth. Today, we have the opportunity to honor those leaders. I would like to call up the co-chairs of the Religious Education Committee, Deborah Kavanaugh Grant and Caitlin Hill, who last night were awarded the Sung Chair Award. Together, we will celebrate these amazing humans who have made our religious education program a gift for all involved. Okay. You two can go back and forth.
It has been an honor to be a part of the Children and Youth Religious Education Leadership Team this year. As you will see, we have amazingly talented and passionate volunteers. When your name is called, please come forward. At the end of each group of names, we invite you to say in unison, "We are grateful for all the teachers in our lives."
Rebecca Bolin. Kay Dusenberry. Sue Fazio, Amy Ford, and Rebecca Grimaud.
Thank you for a year of learning and growing together. Michael Hamtill, Jonathan Hunt, there he is. Sam Hunt, Ari Lennon Perlow, who could not be here today, Jasmine Hall Ratcliffe, sorry. Sarah Vaughn, and Maddie Miner.
Thank
you for a year of learning and growing together.
Our adult religious education opportunities also depend on the passion and talents of many dedicated volunteers who lead our covenant groups and classes. When your name is called, please come forward. Sherry Bassey, who I believe is downstairs on the door. Tom Crouch. Jan Herzog. Peggy Feinberg. Gwen Hickman, who is getting some well-deserved rest after last night. Fran Hoffman. Erin Milligan. Annette Peterson, Sam Rizantzoff, Lisa Richter, and Karen Segrist. Together we say, thank you for a year of learning and growing together.
We also greatly appreciate the religious education staff. Anna Drendel, our nursery coordinator. Erin Wilkie, nursery care provider. And Andrea Barron, religious education assistant. Thank you for a year of learning and growing together.
We also want to honor those who work behind the scenes to connect us to the congregation's program and keep us organized. Grace Muni, our program council representative. Come on. Jane Hokelman, the religious education organizational guru. Thank you for a year of learning and growing together.
As one of the co-chairs of the Religious Education Committee, I've had the pleasure of working with this team and watching them share their love and talents with our children and youth. Because of all they shared, our children and youth better understand how important they are to this community.
As the other half of the co-chair team, I have also enjoyed being part of such a dedicated group of volunteers. They hold space for our children and youth in a way to offer support and love. In a world that is often unpredictable, this is a gift that has long-lasting effects.
This group of dedicated leaders, teachers, and volunteers model the values of Unitarian Universalism to all ages in our church community. And in doing so, provide a foundation for all to grow and flourish across the lifespan of faith development. We also give a special shout out of deep appreciation to Deborah and Caitlin, who have gone beyond the normal call of duty during this year of transition. They rose to leadership during a time of discernment when we were not fully staffed. Their many hours of work helped us to continue a thriving religious education program. For this, we are deeply grateful. And we have a special gift. I can't actually bring it up here because it's in pieces in the hallway downstairs. It's a storage bench for some of the outside toys for the play space. And so we say another thank you for a year of learning and growing together.
Okay, I'm going to go off script for a minute here. But I just have to say, in my life, I've had a lot of opportunities to work on different committees and organizations. And working with Caitlin as a real co-chair and a team member, it just has been such a pleasure. So thank you very much. We have notes of appreciation and gift bags for each of our leaders. You will find them in the fellowship hall following the service.
Thank you to all of you who volunteer with our Children and Youth Religious Education Program. The gifts of time and talent who gave us this year will stay in our memory for years. We are deeply grateful.
May this year's learning serve as building blocks for our children, youth, and families, for our friends and members of all ages. May we all aspire to be lifelong learners and live into the values of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Thank you, religious education leaders, for being part of an exciting program. And thank you to the children and youth for the ways you teach and inspire this congregation. Amen, and blessed be. You may return to your seats. Now, please rise as you are willing and able and join in a hymn about the joy of learning and growing at number 301, Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky. Each week, we bring our joys and sorrows, celebrations and concerns with us into this community. When we share our burdens, both happy and sad, we build community. Now is the time in our service when we connect with one another by sharing our sorrows and concerns. This week, we send well wishes to Jeannie Robertson, who is home recuperating after a recent hospitalization due to pneumonia. And we continue to support our St. Louis community with care and service in the aftermath of the deadly EF3 tornado. In our community, we hold the deep worry for Warren Lammert, who is in critical condition. We hold these concerns with tenderness and compassion. May they be lighter because they are shared. And as a community, we also share our joys and celebrations with one another. This week, we celebrate with Laura and John Zacher on their 30th wedding anniversary. Congratulations. We celebrate getting some badly needed furniture from a neighbor who was moving. Woohoo! And very pleased that the insurance adjuster showed up early for an appointment, meaning that this person was able to come to church on time. Whoop, whoop. We hold these joys with gladness and celebration. May they be magnified because they are shared. With many joys and concerns remaining unspoken in our hearts and minds, please join with me in a spirit of prayer and mindful attention. This morning, we offer the loving kindness meditation adapted by the Reverend Meg Barnhouse. You do not have to hold your hands in any specific way. You can keep your eyes open or closed. You can focus on something in front of you, or you can let your gaze soften. We begin. Spirit of life and love, holy within and among us, we know prayer isn't magic, but we know it has the power to change us. So we offer these words with hope. First, for ourselves. Repeat after me. May I be kind. May I be strong and brave. May I be joyful, useful, and loving. May I be honest and healthy. Now think of a loved one or a friend. May you receive kindness. May you be strong and brave. May you be joyful, useful, and loving. May you find honesty and health. Now, think of someone you have a hard time with. May you receive kindness. May you be strong and brave. May you be joyful, useful, and loving. May you find honesty and health. And finally, think of the whole world, all people, plants, and animals. May all beings receive kindness. May all beings be strong and brave. May all beings be joyful, useful, and loving. May all beings find honesty and health. With loving kindness and hope for the future, may it be so. Amen, and blessed be. I think we got a story next, right? I'm going to invite forward. Yep, that's where we are. I'm going to invite forward any children and youth who want to join me up here on the carpet. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Have you ever had an idea? I mean, most of us have had an idea, right? What did you do when you got your idea?
I did it.
You did it?
I did it.
You tried to do it? What's that?
That's what most people do.
That's what most people do? I'm going to tell you a story about an idea. And we'll see what this person did with an idea. It sure looks like an egg, doesn't it? One day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered, what do you do with an idea? Y'all know what to do with an idea, clearly. What do you think he should do with his idea? Do it? Try to do it? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it. So I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. Is that what you should do with an idea? No? Let's find out. But it followed me. Do ideas follow you? No? Well, this must be an awfully special idea then. They just do immediately? Yeah, they really know about ideas. This must be a strange idea. I worried what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. Have you ever had ideas that you kept all to yourself? Yeah? Sometimes? Okay. Oh, you did it without telling anybody? Whoop. Who would you tell? I don't know. Let's find out. It looks like, I don't know. Maybe chicken legs? But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. Is that how ideas behave? No? What behaves like that? No, you don't. A pet. What? Yep. It sounds an awful lot like a pet. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly. Yeah, have you ever had an idea you were afraid people would think was silly? I have lots of ideas that I'm afraid people are going to think are silly. And you know what? Many of them did. They did think it was silly. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time. And that it would never become anything. Were they very good friends? No. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea. No one knows it like I do. And it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. Is it okay to have ideas that are unusual? Yes. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. And my idea grew and grew. And so did my love for it. What happens when you give your idea attention? It grows. Yeah. I built it a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. What happens when you dream? You fall asleep? Yeah, a lot of dreams happen when you fall asleep. You don't know? You can daydream. Yeah. Get more ideas? Totally. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big and then to think even bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands. What? Because it said it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I don't know. Maybe they have telepathy.
Oh, it's cracking.
Yeah? Oh, it's cracking. Uh-oh. I couldn't imagine my life without it. I don't know. Do you think it's going to explode? No? You don't think it's going to explode? Oh, look at that. Then one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. Did it hatch? No. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. It exploded. Okay. We're going to settle on exploded. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. Sure sounds like an explosion to me. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now a part of everything. What? Everything. What do you think happens when an idea goes everywhere and is part of everything? He took his crown. What happens when an idea goes everywhere? It makes new ideas. Uh-huh. I realized what you do with an idea, you change the world. Thank you very much for being part of our story. You can stay here. We're going to have a message from Michelle, or you can go back to your seats. Okay. And now, there we go. Mo's going to play a video.
I believe the phrase liminal time applies to this year. I am Michelle Grove, and I've been working with you all as an interim religious education consultant, and it's been my pleasure to be in relationship with all of you, and especially those who work with religious education and with the leadership of the congregation. For in my journey with all of you, I have been reflecting a great deal on this time. This is liminal time. Liminal time is almost a time when time is different. It stands still but not still. It just travels and moves differently. And because we do not have a settled religious education professional, we're in a time of discernment about both the congregation but also the religious education mission and vision. And also because Reverend Kim Mason was on sabbatical and our nation is in transition, it feels as if this is the best definition of liminal time. We feel the anxieties, we feel the antsiness that comes with it, and yet at the same time, when we take the time to breathe into it, we also can find its gifts. And some of the gifts are those in which we can discover who we are as a learning people. Thank you all for being a part of that. Today is Religious Education Sunday, and every year I hear great stories about how you celebrate those who make religious education in this congregation come alive. How they hold the whole container so that children, youth, adults, families can actually learn and understand what does it really mean to be a Unitarian Universalist. The learning does not stop today, it'll keep going. And even as we are celebrating this past year, I'm working with the RE committee to start to plan next year for there's more fun to come. And yet now is a time to pause, to breathe into this liminal moment. And I ask you to do that with me, to just sit with all the feelings that come with it, both the unease and the uncertainty, but also the joy. Let's breathe that in. And my friends, a special shout out to those of you who have made religious education happen this year. I come from a long distance. I'm not on site. So many of you held that space. The hope was to hire a religious education coordinator who could be on site to manage those day-to-day things, and that position was never filled. So we have done well with the resources being limited. And so I give a great shout out to the leadership, to Deborah and Caitlin, who held the RE committee and the program together, who put in extra hours and extra effort to support the program, the families, and the leadership, and also to the Religious Education Committee, and all of you who taught children, youth, and adult religious education. Thank you. For you all, in the midst of all the uncertainty, in the midst of this liminal time, showed up and said, you know what? It doesn't matter if we're uncertain. It doesn't matter if we don't have all the answers. We're still here to be together in fellowship, to learn, to grow. I could not be happier to have had a year with you all. I'll be with you through the end of June, even if it's remote, I'm around. So watch for some of the things that'll start to come together for next year. And in the meantime, my friends, thank you for being a learning people. For in learning, you become deeper in your understanding of what it means to love. Blessed be.
The First Unitarian Church of St. Louis strives to be a welcoming congregation, inspiring lives of loving kindness and integrity by nurturing spirituality, building community, and advancing justice. One of the ways we do that is by sharing the plate. All non-pledge donations received this morning will go towards St. Martha's Hall. Since 1983, St. Martha's Hall has provided emergency shelter and support services to women and children experiencing domestic violence. St. Martha's works to end the cycle of domestic violence by empowering survivors to take control of their lives and secure a better future for themselves and their children. This morning's offering will now be received. That was beautiful. Thank you, Caitlin. For the gift of learning, for the gift of teaching, for the gift of our religious education program, and for your gifts this morning, thank you. Unitarian ancestor William Ellery Channing wrote, "The great end in religious instruction is not to stamp our minds upon the young, but to stir up their own. Not to make them see with our eyes, but to look inquiringly and steadily with their own. Not to give them a definite amount of knowledge, but to inspire a fervent love of truth. Not to form an outward regularity, but to touch inward springs. Not to bind them by ineradicable prejudices to a particular sect or particular notion, but to prepare them for impartial, conscientious judging of whatever subjects may be offered to their decision. Not to burden memory, but to quicken and strengthen the power of thought. Not to impose religion upon them in the form of arbitrary rules, but to awaken the conscience, the moral discernment. In a word, the great end is to awaken the soul to excite and cherish spiritual life." We've spent much of this year exploring together what we want for the future of our religious education program. Like many faith traditions, we want our children to develop a moral compass that will guide them now and in the future. We want them to learn about the rich heritage and history of our faith. Unlike some faith traditions, we want to equip our children and youth with tools to figure out for themselves what it is that they believe and find meaningful in the world. In her book, The Gifts of Faith, retired UU religious educator Jeannie Harrison Newhar wrote, "When I was an adolescent, the places I felt safest and most able to be myself were in my church communities. Perhaps this was in part because I had already learned a deep sense of connection to and trust in the church. Perhaps it was because these churches were designed as places of acceptance and love. Perhaps it was because the people there truly liked me and my peers just as we were, with all our annoying teenage traits. We want this too for our children and youth. A place where they are welcome in the fullness of their humanity, complete with growing bodies and growing minds. In conversations this year with adults and children, parents and volunteers, we have come to see that this community is needed as a resource and refuge, a support system for navigating an increasingly divided and disconnected world. Our families want a touchstone, a place to ground them. The work with our interim religious educator, Michelle Grove, affirmed our need for a religious educator who could support traditional programs such as Coming of Age and Our Whole Lives, but who also could be creative and experiment with new models of religious education. It was important to our families that this new religious educator be rooted in Unitarian Universalist identity and faith, and able to integrate families into the larger life of the church community. There was also a recognition that church was calling. Hello, would you like to volunteer in the RE program? There is also a recognition that adults need and want religious education as well. To that end, a position was created that combines lifespan faith development, or religious education for all ages, children, youth, and adults, with membership, a director of congregational life who would partner with us on growing into the future. And this is the point where I'm going to pause. I'm going to invite forward Chuck Eby. And I'm going to give you all the names of the search committee for the director of congregational life, was Chuck Eby. And go ahead and stand when I call your names. Deborah Kavanaugh Grant, Gwen Hickman, Jasmine Ratliff, and Betty Neal. You want to come up here? Jasmine, come on up. And so Chuck's going to make, you can read this paragraph if you want. Yeah. So,
I'm very excited to announce that today we have found the person we think who is just right for this role. I'm so very pleased to introduce to you our new minister of congregational life, the Reverend Sabrina Trupia.
As we celebrate this next step, I want to take a moment to thank the hard work of our Religious Education Committee in this interim year and our search committee, who not only crafted an entirely new job description, but who stayed positive and creative throughout the process. Thank you. I know you all are really excited to talk to Reverend Sabrina. Their start date will be July 13th. So I'm going to encourage you to give your congratulations and well wishes to them. And hold your excited planning emails until July. Thank you. French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wrote, "If you want to build a ship, don't summon people to buy wood. Prepare tools, distribute jobs, and organize the work. Teach people the yearning for the wide, boundless ocean. Every person that comes into our life comes for a reason. Some come to learn, and others come to teach. We look forward to a year of learning and teaching as together we yearn for the wide and boundless ocean." And so it is that now is the time when we celebrate our graduating seniors. This morning's ritual is adapted from one created by Jane Trewin. I invite Connell Deason, Charlie Hagel, Martina Muni, Avery O'Laughlin, and Aaron Wilkie to come forward.
Us, you who are stepping beyond and away and toward. Today we share in your journey and encourage your discovery.
Today, we welcome your energy and offer you a safe place to grow. Today, we celebrate your hopes and dreams. Come live, breathe, thrive, and rejoice. Your time is now.
Today, we applaud you for all you have been,
Yeah, 2 more lines.
For all you are now, and for all you will be.
There you go.
Today marks an ending so that I may begin again to hope and do and learn and be.
All right, keep going, Deborah.
Today you cross a symbolic bridge. Go now and explore with wonder. We will support and nurture you. You are the future.
Today, you cross into a mysterious and wonderful and possibly scary place. Go now and make choices that make you happy. We will support and nurture you. You are amazing.
Today you cross this bridge. Be patient, be hopeful, and we will support you and nurture you. You are an inspiration.
Today I cross this bridge and join in fellowship. Let me grow, but don't let me go.
Together, we share a special place. Together we learn. Together we love. Together we grow. When a child is dedicated into this community, we present them with a rose. The rose does not have thorns because it is an early stage in a child's life, and we want to assure them of as much safety as possible. Now, as you young adults are ready to face the world in new ways, we want to honor you again with a rose. We remember you in those younger days, and we cherish the gifts of your love and presence throughout the years. Now you are ready to face the world with its joys and its thorns. This rose has thorns. Be very careful. It is a symbol of your readiness to face life challenges. It is also a reminder that we are with you on this journey forward. We hope you remember that our love goes with you. You are not alone. Amen. And blessed be. You may return to your seats. After a lot of applause. You can go back to your seat. Hey, oh, you can take. Now please rise as you are able and willing and join in our closing hymn, number 352, a song about learning and growing on the journey of life. 352. 3-5, oh gosh. Is it? 3-5-4. Alan, it's my fault. It's 3-5-4. There's typos everywhere. Our closing words come from the Reverend Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Teachers everywhere. In every person we meet, we find an opportunity for us to grow, to learn, to go further along the path of transformation. May you find connection in your learning and teaching in the week ahead. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace. Please stay for the postlude. When it ends as your final act of worship, please greet your neighbor.